everything's good with parole, and you still love me, and I love you.
Hello and welcome to Lord Lukan. It's time to go to a shop to buy balloons with the money we got, because we're off for a last helping of this season's Love During Lockup. Creepy Rick is doing a JoJo Siwa and rebranded himself as a player.
I was a player.
You still are.
Ayonna is all about the lolly and the gagging.
I'm just out here lollygagging until you get here.
And Andy is left playing with his balls. Good day to you, me Rayo de Sol, and big love to those who have subscribed, you beautiful people, and an elderflower mojito to the members of the Lukan Manor. Endings, my creme anglais, are one of the few guarantees in life. Some endings are all build up and no payoff. Some just confirm your faith in the people around you. Some endings are thoroughly deserved.
My head. Oh no, you can't touch me. Oh, my head.
And some endings are just so crazy that nobody could have seen it coming. First in line for their happy little ending is Candice. And he did think he'd bought a happy ending too, but, turns out he had to give that to Candice, along with that rather expensive ring. Anyway, running ahead here, let's see how Andy's getting on after that kind of breakup they had. Yeah, he's fine. He's got that resting pity face. He's always like that. He's actually having the time of his life. He just, hasn't realised it yet.
Hello.
Night last night was pretty tough.
Well, it's all blue on Andy's side of the street, and over on the Candice Central line, she's getting to grips with losing the love of her life.
I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner.
Take a look. Oh my God.
Yeah, devastated, It might look like she's having a glow up and now resembles somebody who has actually left prison, but underneath that layer of holding spray and max factor, she's a wreckage of emotions.
I feel like I can conquer the world.
And from max factor to somebody who wishes he'd factor, Andy's little head is spinning. Well, and I do mean his actual head, not his implied little head, if you know what I mean. Not going there, thank you very much. And neither is Candice by all accounts.
Trying to figure out what's going on and what the next step is.
May I recommend stepping out the door, picking up that shred of dignity she left in the sink plug hole, and getting on with it. He may never be the man that Candice needs in her life, but I'm sure there's a cardigan-wearing librarian somewhere in New Jersey. They do have libraries in New Jersey, don't they? I imagine all the pages have little spray-tan fingerprints on them. But hang on a second there, I hear you cry. There is a library in New Jersey. Yes, here it is. And Andy could have his choice of all the poontang on offer over there. There's Elizabeth, who'll give your card a good stamping. There's Creativity Award-winning Miss Melissa, who likes to get her hands on an extra-large tool. And there's Louise, who likes to have one in each hand. See? Don't worry yourself, little Andy Pandy. We'll get you another love of your life, for the 5th time.
I'm not the one who can cater to a needy person.
But needy people are totally fine when you needy them to be squeaky clean for you and to live in their lovely place he's paying for.
I have an apartment that I could go to.
Ah, I see. So the next step on the plan is to keep the little fishy on the hook, long enough for her to sort out alternatives.
Just be me and my fiance there.
So this is quite interesting in hindsight, as much as, forwardy looking sight. We see her slightly bending the truth, saying, just me and my fiance. Okay, we know Andy will be off somewhere, but what about if they come to her place and there's a man there? She'll just be able to say, hey, look, this is Andy. Everyone's good, and he's none the wiser, and just a mere 2,497 miles away.
He's very, very stable.
If she means stable, in the farming sense, a mostly empty thing where people come and go and leave a load of shit behind, then yes, he's totally unstable.
Because that was the plan, that's what I want to stick to.
Oh, look, let's have a look at what's being said. So up here she says, I'm very conflicted and confused. I just need a break and time. Then we can figure out what we're going to do to give me more time. So basically, give me an unspecified amount of time, then we'll decide how to give me even more time. Sounds fair to me.
And hopefully he'll be okay with that.
Of course he would. You could tell him you'd fart in his general direction once a leap year and he'd be sitting with his nose at the window. And anything at all is sometimes better than the big f***ball. And way better than just sitting there playing with your balls.
I was alone.
I'm supposed to call Pio.
I was all by myself.
But Andy smells a fraction of hope and sets out his terms.
What you want to do? Staying at the apartment and using the truck, and we're
still together and...
Conflating the flat with love is like if McDonald's did emotions. It's a short-term satisfaction which ultimately ends up being shit.
and all that.
But Andy doesn't care. He needs his Candice for, whatever reason. No idea myself. I prefer Louise at this point. So they agree and Andy prepares to travel the breadth of the US to make sure he wasn't making her too uncomfortable.
I want to see how I feel in a couple weeks.
Is that a couple of weeks to decide how to give her more time away from him, or just a couple of weeks so she can think up some other excuse?
I'll stand by you always, you know that.
Well, actually, you're clearly sitting down, but, won't mention that. So they part one more time with a heartfelt devotion of love.
I love you.
No, you don't, you silly sausage. I mean, it's not like you normally say okay when someone tells you they love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
And now she's got exactly what she wanted and tries not to look like she's hiding a big old smile. They're devastated, I tell you. But Andy's not taking "I don't want to be with you" on face value. I mean, that could mean anything. But at least she's being straight with us. Not that it makes her little gold digger any better, but you've got to place a neat little parcel of blame at his little hush-puppied feet. So we leave Andy with his memories. Lovely picture. In another series, that woman had the cutout of her man. I guess this is the Dollar Tree discount version of that. Unless they asked for one of Andy, and this is what they got. Hello, cutout company? Yes, I'd like to order an Andy, please. Yes, that's it, a singular expression with a big belly and no balls. Nice one. That's enough of these two for now, and it's time to go and see what that vanilla Tennie is up to. And today she's meeting her man as he gets released. So she goes running off in, no particular direction. Don't know why she went that way. Her man was somewhere off to the right. Also, have you noticed she's got one of those thick bums, but it's kind of flat on one side? Anyway, so they meet after, all those years that I can't be bothered to look up and be specific about.
I love you.
What the hell was that noise? Sounds like someone was unzipping him.
I love you.
God, I've just found my most hated noise. On par with that noise Slurpee people make when eating food with their mouths open.
To be free after 16 years, it feels great.
Is it me, or does this guy kind of set off your gaydar? Not like kind of outside gay, more like, inside prison gay.
So I'm just taking it all in.
No, I bet you've been doing that for a couple of years. Anyway, they're probably a lovely couple. Bit too Insta wannabe for me, but they do all that noise thing again. Ugh, I hate it. But listen to his voice.
Baby, turn right here, man. Just let me get a moment to myself to fill it all out.
Yeah, do you think that armed robbery you committed was drug-related at all? Because that voice is the voice of a man who knows his way around a pipe or two.
Fill it all out.
Anyways, I'm bored of them already, so let's go see what Ayonna is up to. Well, she's just got out of prison.
I'll meet you at the probation office.
What's this? A time-based driving thing? I smell another montage.
Alright, we're here.
Alright, okay, maybe not then. Over to the boys in boys, and it's Boring Joey's turn. He'd better do something interesting this week.
Probably think the two gay guys are like, we're going to be the most scandalous ones there.
Joey seems to think that being gay might be more scandalous than other inmates. Let's put that into perspective, shall we? I don't suppose, my dear American viewers, you've heard of a man called Ross Kemp. He's a big, bald, friendly guy that used to play bad guys on TV. Anyway, let's use this as a nice way of putting scandalous into perspective.
And I told him, you sleep there, and if it's not the number, I have sex with him.
Does that make you gay?
No.
So when you compare that with this, I don't think he's got much to worry about. And if you like a bit of prison telly, do please check out Ross. There's a bunch of his shows on YouTube. Anyway, now it's the moment you've been waiting for. Grease up your granny and saran wrap your cat. It's the big player on the block. It's Creepy Rick. No, settle down, ladies. There's enough creepiness to go around. So, Creepy Rick, how's it going?
How's it going?
Oh, man.
Oof, well, where do I start? The life of an international playboy is a demanding one.
I was a player back then.
Back then.
I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level.
Of course he is, and when what reason on earth to make me think that this man, may not be pure bloody girlbait that his niece thinks he is. Anyway, he decided to be clear about what's going on.
I I wanted, or would wait.
I was going to put him,
And while he puts his teeth back in, we're going to check back in with Andy and Candice. And Andy is leaving a note on the fridge. On a f***ing truck that looks like it's been made by a child. A truck with like 8 stitches on it. Yeah, thanks. Nice one. I guess all this tat is the crap she sends him. Nice. I'll put it next to my Thomas the Tank Engine fridge magnet.
You know, Candice and I are still committed to each other.
Well, I guess you could say that. They're both committed to making Andy penniless as quickly as possible. Hey, look, they do have something in common after all. Then the little adverts that run at the bottom of the screen finally show a picture that works with the picture that you're watching.
It's just not the right time. It's just not the right time.
See, that woman from that show that did all that stuff, you know, looking disapproving. Yeah, take that, Andy. See, he can't even look at her.
I know we're gonna be together forever. Like, we just are that connected.
Shut up, connected. She's connected to your credit rating, more like. But I might be being harsh. She's giving him stuff too, you know. And it's not just that crappy tractor thing.
Dream catcher she made, just to look at it and remember the dreams that we've talked about.
Lovely. All the effort that nearly went into that monstrosity must be touching, presumably. Then we jump forward 3 months and blimey, Andy's arm's gotten hairy.
Everything's good with parole. And you still love me, and I love you.
More of that later in the video. Next up, we're off to Independence mode to see Shonta and True. And ask the eternal question, how are you going to do anything interesting this week? As Shonta has been shopping for True.
This man want an MP3 player. Do you know how hard it was to find an MP3 player?
Okay, kind of cute that he wants what essentially is a Walkman, but is it really all that hard to find? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's have a little looky here then. No, it's not hard at all. Then the version of this show that I have suddenly loses its sound.
He's selfish.
But don't worry, lip-reading fans, I've managed to piece together what's going on. Shonta is tailing some new ideas for a startup restaurant, including new flavours of ice cream, bubblegum and sriracha, be nice. And then she tells her that she's been doing stuff. And then orders dinner. Nuggets. And there you go. What more could you possibly want to know? Back now over to Creepy Rick. 260 my shirt. And Ricky's taking some legal advice on that tricky little marriage thing he went through the other day.
Hi, Rick. I'm Angela.
Angela, nice to meet
Nice to meet you too. So you might be wanting to dissolve your marriage.
Yes.
So he explains how he just got carried away and accidentally got married again. And, it'd really rather not be. Mostly because it's expensive and, time consuming or something.
Rick, you've got yourself in a pickle. No doubt.
But, oh no, the wife, I don't know, I've forgotten her name and it's not really important enough to look her up, really, is it? So, her calls that Rick tries to hide from the phone he's holding.
Any plans on trying to work this out?
Doesn't she realise she can actually see him? Just because he's not looking at her doesn't mean she can't see him. In fact, if you see the reverse angle, his face is totally visible. So all this tongue poking, eye rolling, cringy attempt at hiding that this player is doing right there in front of her is really, really visible. But because he's so brave, he'll just make it sound like she's crazy or something.
Or if you are done.
Okay.
Yeah, weird, crazy pants. Whatever gave you that idea? Says that man trying to do a stealth divorce and looking guiltier than a kitten sitting next to the poop he did on my cushion the other day. So, wife character asks a straight question.
Are you dead set on being done?
Man gets a wonky answer.
I don't know.
But don't worry, litigation fans. Once she's off the hook, he's straight back to business.
Divorce is what sounds like where I'm headed.
Blimey, look at the thickness of those glasses. Bit of direct sunlight and they'll burst into flames. Let's leave him here and get back to Andy and Candice. And Candice isn't the only one who's had a blow up.
Yes, I'm here for you, baby, because I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Similar words, similar look, it's the new man. Or rather an old boyfriend man who does all the exciting things to Candice's pants. And they got married so they can legally love each other. With Andy's ring. Hey, thanks Andy. Meanwhile, over at Winnersville, Andy is blissfully unaware.
Thinking about getting what she wrote here tattooed on me at some point.
Yeah, I've got a design for you. But what would he actually have tattooed? Bye and thanks for all your shit. But if you read it, it doesn't actually really make a great deal of sense. I did actually feel bad for Andy. All it really says is that she's got him if he needs her. Granted, the tattoo is probably just something he said to make himself seem a bit more tough and a bit more rugged, but that act of simply being God was held on to, and it meant something in a world with precious little to cover you from the rains. That I got you was everything, and I think it's slightly sad. So let's cheer ourselves up by watching him straighten up that crap on his fridge. Well, I'm predicting a love triangle, kind of, with these guys, or at least Candice and not Andy will probably show up in After Lockup, so I imagine we'll be seeing them again. And this draws the season to a close, and we get a little note of what everybody's doing. Ayonna is on probation, and we'll definitely see her again. Creepy Rick is being eaten alive by a creepy Karen. And no one learned anything about coercion and financial abuse. Ah, good old reality TV. And that, my fine friend, is the end of the season and the end of this episode. Come back for more reality TV and random tangents here on the Lord Lukan channel, and maybe even give it a like and subscribe. So until we meet again, stay beautiful, love to my three, but you take care of yourself.
Please subscribe now for our play. Thank you.